All right, from our New Mexico Mobile Newsroom, we have team coverage of the wildfire that continues burning near Cloudcroft, New Mexico. Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us for ABC 7 at 5. I'm Paul Seacala.
And I'm Stephanie Valle. Let's get to the Moser fire. It is located 4 miles east of Cloudcroft. It's burning over 100 acres. We have ABC 7's Jason McNabb live to bring us the latest. We also have ABC 7 storm tracker Jalen Lewis and our ABC 7 chief meteorologist Doppler Dave Spielman talking about the impact of weather.
But first, from our New Mexico Mobile Newsroom, let's begin with ABC 7's Jason McNabb, who joins us live from Cloudcroft. Jason?
Well, Paul, I'm right here at Highway 82 where this closure is taking place. And unfortunately, from our vantage point, we can't really see any of the smoke or the flames, but it is back there a few miles down the road. We were actually able to go in there earlier. Forest Service escorted us. We were able to see the flames and all the smoke back there. Now, this fire continues to burn at 145 acres with 0% containment, but those forest officials we spoke to today say the fire didn't grow overnight, which is a good thing. A large Chinook helicopter could be seen taking water from a nearby pond and then dropping it on a containment perimeter, which officials say is around 80% completed. Firefighters hope to have that perimeter completed by the end of today's shift, and that should hopefully keep the fire from spreading any further. This fire, of course, did force some evacuations of nearby subdivisions, and those people are now being housed in temporary shelter at Cloudcroft High School. Forest Service officials actually led us through the blockade to give us a look at how aerial crews were working with ground crews to keep this fire from spreading back over here. Now, I spoke with the district fire management officer of the Sacramento Ranger District, who says typically these kinds of fires take around 2 weeks to extinguish. Granted, conditions don't change too much.
This first several days, we'll focus on getting that perimeter really secure, and then we'll have resources out here continuing to secure and move interior, making sure all those hot spots are extinguished. So I would say about 14 days we'll have people out here watching this.
Of course, we'll continue to keep you updated both on air and online with the latest information about this fire. However, the Forest Service says they don't expect the actual village of Cloudcroft to be in any danger from this fire at this time, and they don't expect it to be in danger in the future as well. For now, reporting in Cloudcroft with our New Mexico Mobile Newsroom, I'm Jason McNabb, ABC 7.
All right, Jason. Also from our New Mexico Mobile Newsroom.
ABC 7 storm tracker Jalen Lewis joins us live from Cloudcroft. And Jalen, how much of a factor are the winds making on this fire from your perspective at ground level?
Yes, and we are not really seeing those windy conditions as we saw yesterday. Compared to yesterday, we saw very high winds. As we were watching the crews work, we saw that Chinook helicopter, as Jason mentioned, flying, and as those gusts kind of came up, you heard the buffeting get louder and louder. The loud buffeting kind of echoed throughout the mountains as it could be heard for miles as crews worked about it ablaze. But with today's conditions, it has been a different story as winds continue to blow out of the west. There was a red flag warning in place for this part of Otero County, as well as much as the borderland. I was able to speak with a weather forecaster with the National Weather Service, and they said at the time of the fire, according to a weather station near the location of the fire, it was 84 degrees with a very low humidity, and the max wind gusts was 43 miles an hour. Today, winds have gusted only up to 35 miles an hour, and this is what I've seen from checking the weather station just a couple minutes ago, and the relative humidity is still below 20%, which is still enough to cause the fire, but not as of right now. As we were talking to U.S. Forest Service, Caleb Finch, he had to say this.
5 to 7 days, the temps begin to increase, humidities begin to drop, and the winds start to increase incrementally day by day. That's pretty normal for this time of year, and then we're always looking several days out, so maybe this weekend we might have an increase in winds, but we'll evaluate that with the daily weather that we get from the Weather Service.
And like I said before, guys, the winds aren't as problematic as they were yesterday, as we saw those wind gusts get up to 43 miles an hour. For today, like I said, 35 miles an hour. But coming up at ABC 7 at 6, we're going to keep you updated as the current conditions continue to change, but the winds are looking like they're going to start trending down. With our New Mexico Mobile Newsroom, I'm Jalen Lewis.
All right, Jalen, thank you for the update. Let's get our storm track weather forecast now from our chief meteorologist, Doppler Dave Spielman.
What can you tell us about the Moser fire and the weather impacts, Doppler?
Well, yeah, as Jalen mentioned, the winds aren't as strong today as what we had yesterday, but they're still up there just a bit. You can see we are at 19 out of the southwest. We'd like them to be really 0 to 5 for the most part, but we're not going to see that. They're going to be consistently in that windy category all the way through the rest of the week. You can see across town, we're staying below 30. So generally in the breezy category right now. Well, here is the fire. Here's the smoke, too. There's Cloudcroft. So you go just off to the east, 4 or 5 miles. This is the area that they are battling the fire as we speak. And as we kind of zoom into the area, check out the winds. We're talking about 17, 18 miles an hour is what the wind speeds are doing as of this point. But we'll talk about the winds all the way through the rest of the week. The humidity is going to stay low. We have lots of dry air in place. That's going to stay in place all the way through the upcoming holiday weekend. It's all coming up in weather.
All right, Doppler. Don't forget to download the KVIA News app. We brought you this story as breaking news, and we will continue to bring you complete coverage on the Moser fire as we get new developments. The app is constantly updated with all the changes happening in the borderland as well as southern New Mexico. It is free and available on the App Store and Google Play.